So this is the live example of the stock. The stock's name is NDTV. The data is for the last 3 years, from 2021 to 2023. During this entire period, the spare cash which was generated was on a monthly basis. It was average 4%, and the total spare cash the stock generated was 14 and a half lakhs. The amount which we started trading was 10 lakh rupees. So you can clearly see that in this 3 years, the client would have easily recovered their initial investment amount. I also have a different example where the stock gave a decent returns in form of spare cash. The stock's name is Zomato. Here, the spare cash which was totally generated over the last 3 years was three more than 3.5 lakhs, which basically means on an average it was monthly 1%. Right. So this was the live examples of the stock. Now let me take you through the app. Here, after creating the account using your email ID and your other login credentials, you can easily log into the app. You just have to create an MPIN to get inside the app. Now, now in the home page, you can see that there's a cash summary. The entire purpose of providing this cash summary is that the client should entirely have a knowledge where his or her cash is placed, and this also gives the details of the cash which is allocated to their respecting stocks, right? So in our strategy we have a concept of ladder. In the Excel sheet also we saw that if I'm buying the stock at 50, which was my initial buy, right, I'm selling once the price went up by 1 rupee, correct? And if the price dropped by 1 rupee, I'm going to buy some shares, fixed numbers of shares. So this creates a visual representation of my prices. So the ladder is nothing but the visual representation of my price points, correct? Similarly, using the same concept, we tell the customers that it is solely their choice of stocks. Okay, and we give options to select the stocks by either by selecting from the sector from which they want to invest, or by directly by the name. All right. Now let's suppose that you pick a stock. Let's suppose Infosys. Okay. So you can easily create a ladder. Okay, let's pick another stock. Let's say Tech Mahindra. Yes. So as you can see, there are two options given. One is to assign cash and one is to add the same stock to the watch list. Now, the purpose of giving this feature is that if a person wants to trade Tech Mahindra once it reaches a certain price. For example, if Tech Mahindra is currently trading at 1000 rupees and the customer or the client wants to start trading Tech Mahindra once it reaches 1100 or 1050. So this feature is given so that the customer can easily track the price of their stock. Okay. Now, if I click to assign cash, you can see that there's a column which says cash allocated. So let's suppose that I want to allocate 10 lakh rupees to this ladder, right? Now, moving forward, you can see that a detailed version and an easy version. There are two modes for creating this ladder. Now, the entire purpose of giving two options is that in the detailed version, whatever goes through the strategy, behind the strategy, each and every formula is given in this mode, which basically helps the customer to understand what exactly is happening in the strategy, right? Now, if I move forward, you can see there's an option called target multiplier. Now, whoever customer comes to our platform, he or she should be knowing only two things. One, at what stock they want to invest, and second is at what target price they want to sell their respective stocks. All right. So initial uh, price of the stock.
Abhinav, how many stocks did you show in the first part?
वन स्टॉक सर, और एक स्टॉक जो पहले से सिमुलेटेड था वो, टोटल 2 स्टॉक्स.
अच्छा ठीक, चलो.
So the initial price of Tech Mahindra is close to 1600. Now let's suppose that the customer wants to sell the stock at 3200. So this clearly shows that the target is twice. So that is why the target multiplier is 2. Now let's suppose that you don't want to change the target price, you just want to change the target multiplier. So accordingly, the target price would be changed. Now let's see. See, as you can see, I changed the target multiplier to 2.5x. Accordingly, the target price was changed, right? In the next step, you can clearly see that how much maximum buying quantity I can buy of this stock. All right. And according to the target price, my initial buy cash is calculated over here. All right. Now, moving forward, you can see there's a terminology called step size. Now, what is step size? In the spreadsheet example, we saw that we were trading after making my initial purchase as 50, we were trading at 51, 52, and so on. So step size is the difference between my price intervals. In that example, it was 1 rupee, correct? Now coming back to the real example, you can see that it is written over here 56. Now this simply means that at every 56 rupee difference, I am going to buy or sell fixed numbers of shares. All right. Now we have also given the option to customize. Now let's suppose that the customer feels that he or she wants to trade Tech Mahindra at 15 rupees. All right. Once he or she has written 15 over here, what we do is that the entire black box, right, the gray box, it gives you the optimum price closest to your customized price. Meaning that you wrote 15 over here, our system calculated that what will be the closest value to 15 and which is optimum to trade. So the step size which our system has calculated is 10.23, which simply means that at every 10.23 rupees, I'm going to buy or sell. Correct? Now next is steps above. So as you can recall that we started trading Tech Mahindra at 1600 and my target price was, let's suppose, 3200. So at how many steps I am going to reach at my target price? My step size is 10.3, right? So at how many steps of 10.3 I'm going to reach to my target price? This means my steps above. Correct? So the customer also has the option to modify that. And we also give the option where if he or she cannot understand how much steps above or step size they want to choose, we also give them option to recommend. We recommend the parameters so they can easily get to their desired step size or steps above. Now moving forward, if I click on show ladder, here the entire summary of the ladder is shown. Right? What is my target price, at what price I bought my stock? What is the step size? What is my order size? Order size means that how many shares I'm going to buy and sell at 10.23 rupees difference. Right? Now in the graphical view, you can see that how much extra cash per order it can generate. Okay. Now if I click on save ladder, you can see there's an interesting question that do you want to continue trading after the ladder hit target price? Now what does this mean? Now let's suppose that let's take this example only. All right. I started trading Tech Mahindra at 1600 and my target price is 3200. In both the cases, if I click yes or no, all my stocks are going to be sold at 3200. Correct. But if I click on yes, there will be a subsequent order below my step size. My step size was 10 rupees. Correct. So at 3190, I'm going to have a buy order which will be opened once the target reaches the stock reaches its target. Correct. So that is the purpose of putting this question over here, that if the customer wants to continue trading, even if the stock price goes to 3200, there will be a buy order open. Correct? If let's suppose I click on no and I save the ladder. Now here, you just have to select the ticker. And before selecting the ticker, you just have to make the ladder active. As you can see, the ladder is inactive as of now. Just activate the ladder. And here another question pops out, that do you want to reinvest extra cash? Now what happens sometimes is that whoever the customer is, he or she won't be needing the spare cash, right? They might think that they want to reinvest the same spare cash into their existing ladder. So that option is also given to them. As of now, let's do not reinvest the spare cash to the ladder. Let's click on OK. So once the ladder is active, you just have to select whichever ticker you want to start trading, right? So the stock is taken. Now in this simulation mode, you can easily mimic the price. What do I mean by mimic the price? I mean that you can take the price up and down manually. Okay. So the main agenda of giving this feature is that the customer should be really comfortable with the entire strategy, and they should be able to handle the price manually before they start trading with real money. So that is why this simulation paper trading mode is given. So as you can see here, entire detail of the ladder is shown over here, that how many executed orders are there. As of now, it is showing one, as the initial buy has been taken place. So for the brokers and for the clients, we've also given the option to show that how much actual brokerage each order will generate along with other charges, that is STT, SEBI charges, GST, etc. Now, if I take the price by one step down, okay, let's suppose I took the price one step down. See, the price moved by one step down and I generated extra cash of 36 rupees. If I go to orders, you can clearly see that I have two orders open, as I mentioned earlier, correct? That I have two orders open. One is a buy order and next is the sell order. And alongside, we have also given the estimated brokerage on each orders. So this also gives the broker and the customer a good idea that what really is happening. Moving on, if I keep on trading, I would be getting a gist of the entire strategy, that this is what is going to happen in the live market. Now I've already created a ladder with 51 orders, just for your reference, to show that how much brokerage you can, approx brokerage you can generate from a client if the ladder generates 51 orders monthly. Yeah, this also depends on stock to stock, but this is how much actual approx brokerage the broker can get. We also have the option to modify the ladder. Here we have several options, that if the client wants to add cash to the ladder, if he wants to invest more amount to the existing ladder, we give them that feature also. So here he or she can just add the amount and you just have to tick on the tab given over here. After that, all the existing parameters will change and the new parameters are also shown over here. Once this is done, you can just click on accept changes and your cash would be added. Now, similarly, if the customer wants to adjust the step size, meaning the price difference at which they want to trade, right? So here we have also given the option to adjust the step size. Similarly, not the step size, if a customer has chosen a stock, same, let's say Tech Mahindra, right? And the stock went up in a very short time. Let's suppose it's going to reach its target in less than 2 months or 3 months. So we have also given the option to adjust the target so that the customer doesn't have to sell his or her stocks at the desired target price. So now next is that this is just one of the strategies which we have started. We have 6 different strategies where we provide different different USPs. Like in this method, we have the term called spare cash. Similarly, in other strategies, we have different performance metric and different things to offer to customers. Also, we have, let me show you the brokers list also that, yeah. So we are in talk with all these brokers as of now. And sooner or later, we are going to onboard clients via these brokers. Now we have 2 plans as of now. One is the Savers pack, that is of rupees 300 per month, where we give the limitation to customer to create ladders within 1 lakh rupees. And the next plan we have is 1000 rupees, where the limitation is 5 lakhs plus. Like if the customer wants to create ladders worth of 5 lakh rupees or more, the charges are 1000 rupees. In the app also we have given the customer support, where if the customer feels he or she is stuck or they don't understand some of the features, they can easily contact the customer support, or we have also given the option of help which will redirect you to the our website. Yeah, so this was the presentation of the app.